So I want to jump back to where we started. There was something you quickly jumped over that I think is a key component to where a lot of people struggle is you switched from your state job to then running your consulting. How did you make that leap to go from the 9 to 5 to I'm going to support myself? That's a big leap that a lot of people are just terrified to take.
It is scary. It's scary, but I knew I would never really be happy building somebody else's dream. Like I always knew that I would work for myself in some capacity. And so I am not an overnight success. I was a person who built something quietly over time for a long time before I had fully stepped into my CEO role and position that I'm in now. So I did it alongside my 9 to 5. I did it alongside bartending for about a year and a half. And then I had secured enough, reoccurring revenue to feel comfortable and confident in the fact that I would be okay. And I always knew, and this is something I tell my clients too, like you're always employable. If it doesn't work, which it will, you can always go and, work somewhere else. So I told myself that I was going to be all in. I didn't want to put myself in a financial position where I needed it to work because that pressure was too great. I know myself, I don't operate that way. I need security. And so I had gotten to a place where it was slightly uncomfortable. Like I knew that I needed this to work, but at the time I didn't have team members. I wasn't paying, salaries, and so it was okay. I'm not in that position now, which thank God, because I don't know my team now. They're like, how did you get to where you were? Because tech is not my friend. I'm like, I don't know, I got scrappy. But yeah, so it's just something you do over time and build up. I mean, sales are relationships don't happen overnight. Start today. Build a client roster today. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients that you can re-sign. They will be your biggest brand ambassadors, your cheerleaders, referrals. Like word of mouth marketing is not dead, it's alive and well. You use that. And so I just started small and built and built and built to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm going all in.
And you mentioned in there that something I think too is so important for a lot of people to grasp is when you first start out, your team was asking you, how did you do this? You don't understand tech. And you said, I got scrappy. I became resourceful. And so many people are unwilling to, well, I don't understand this, so I'm just going to not do it. And I'm not going to chase my dreams, when really all it takes is just taking that step, because nobody understood it when they first started. You have to just dive in and really work on taking that step. I talked to a lot of people on the podcast where that was the thing. They were just scrappy. They just figured it out. And that's hard. I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people to understand.
I agree. I think that, well, I know we don't like what we're not good at. And so you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's where all of the growth happens. And if you can remind yourself of areas in which you once quote unquote failed, but now you thrive, I think you can build up this body of evidence that can prove to yourself you can do it. I always use this example with my clients of, imagine when you were learning how to drive. Now you get in the car and it's been an hour and you're like, oh my, how did I get here, right? This is autopilot. But it's the same thing. It's like, mastery is just exposure and repetition. So expose yourself, do these things over and over again until they feel easy. And the thing is, the irony is like, nobody wants easy, right? I mean, if it was easy, nobody would want it. So it's just putting yourself out there. But I agree, it takes a certain type of person. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. You have to have true grit. You just do. And that's okay. I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I believe we are definitely cut from a different cloth. Some people, my friends, are like, you are a maniac. And I'm like, I am. And I love it. And I wouldn't have it any other way.